Welcome back to the channel, new friends. So, this story is about 10 pages long. It should be a decent one, so let's get right to it. The story is titled, I've never felt this way before, but I don't know how to get out of it. I've been with this girl on and off for 2 years, mainly on, but we've never had a good relationship. In the beginning, we'd fight so bad and say some pretty wild things to one another. This led to us breaking up for 2 months, but when we did get back together, I wanted to be different, to change the way I was, and hopefully we'd be better this time. She was trying too, but whenever something would upset her, she'd lash out, call me stupid, a loser, I was worthless, scream at me, and sometimes she'd physically hit me. I remember the first time she punched me in the mouth. She said I got in her way. I've never laid a hand on her, but whenever we would argue or fight, she would bring up arguments from the past when we've been verbally sparring. I tried telling her that was the past, and I've been trying to change. I was changing. It's been 1.5 years since then, though. Back in August, we broke up for what I'd call a good reason. We went out to a bar, and she drank way too much, got into a fight, and got us kicked out. When we got into the car to go home, she hauled off and slapped me across the face. I was just kind of shocked by that and started driving home, but she started punching me while I was driving. Not only that, but she tried taking the steering wheel from my hands to the point I had to pull over on the side of the fucking freeway, which led to the police getting called, and she got arrested for assault. 2 weeks after that incident, she calls me saying all the right things, tugging at my heartstrings, so we got back together. Turns out differently from what she was saying, as we were still arguing and still fighting, but I don't honestly think I'm the problem here. But I'm hurt because this happens so frequently, and I get so confused every time. It just blows my mind that this is even possible, or maybe I'm just naive. This time around, she'd call me names more, get mad at me for dumb shit like sleeping. The littlest thing I do would upset her. I tried to be what she wanted, but I always thought to myself, I keep trying to be what she wants because I want her in my life, even though she hits me and calls me names. However, we're broken up again, and all I could think of is she's right. I'm a fucking loser. I'm worthless. I used to cry myself to sleep at her apartment, telling myself I deserved this treatment for being a bad person in my life. I know she is bad for me, but I can't stay away. Fast forward to what recently happened. So it started on Christmas Eve. I came over with gifts for her and her daughters. We were watching Teen Mom, and I said something she didn't like about the TV show. What I said was, she's dense. Started talking about a dumb incident that happened on the show. That's when my ex lost it, saying, I hate how you use the dumb word, or fat, or stupid. I was like, what? Where is this coming from? I apologized and said I'll watch what I say next time if it was offensive. I was literally agreeing with her, but she was already irate. She'd been drinking as well, so it wound up with her throwing all my stuff outside. When I walked outside to retrieve my stuff and put it in my car, she of course locked me out, and that's how I wound up sleeping in my car on Christmas Eve. She let me back in on Christmas Day, and I gave her the gifts I'd gotten, which I'd put a lot of thought into, and she loved every one of them, and so did her kids. That's when she gave me my gifts, saying, I didn't even bother to wrap them for you, rather matter-of-factly. It was a bag of trail mix and Chex Mix. I still said thank you and opened them to eat some, even shared them with your kids. No complaints. Of course, on the inside, I was a little hurt because it's like, where was the thought in that? But anyways, we were getting along all week, and on New Year's we went to my mom's house so she could watch her daughters for us to go out. My ex started drinking at 6 p.m. and kept on drinking throughout the whole night. We were dancing, having fun, kissed when the bell dropped. It was a wonderful night. While she was dancing on me, I pulled her beanie off a little bit, and she ran to the corner of the bar and stood there pissed off. I walked over and asked what's wrong, and she said, I hate my hair, don't touch my hat. I said, okay, but you shouldn't care what people think of you, to which she screamed at me, but I do, in the middle of the crowded bar before storming off. I walk out of the bar to go back to the car, and when she got in, she said she's calling an Uber after she grabs her daughters. It's now 2 a.m. and she's 12 drinks deep. Obviously, I wasn't going to let her leave with a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. My mom and brother were up and saw how crazy everything was, right on up to the point she punched me in the head in front of my family, which wasn't the first time she'd abused me in front of them. With everyone shocked or mortified, my ex called her sister to come pick her up. Haven't seen her since, but I see she's posting all sad relationship stuff on her social media, which breaks my heart. I really care for this woman. She threw away the ring I'd given her, made sure to post a video of that happening on TikTok, which is just several levels jacked up. I'm heartbroken. My question is, have I done something wrong to make her act this way towards me? I never laid a hand on her, but she's hit me countless times. Did I do something to deserve that? And that brings us to the end of today's story. Now, OP, listen up right quick. The most important thing you need to know is that none of the violence is your fault. No one should be visiting physical violence on somebody that they claim to love. That's simply not how it works. Unless, of course, it's some kind of BDSM fetish thing, but this story is definitely not that. Just the brazenness of your ex taking a swing at your head in front of family is so many different levels of fucked up. I could do a deep dive on that alone, and the psychology of it, but I won't. What you really need to do, OP, is quit drinking. And stuff just does horrible things to people. Well, alcoholism is a worse long-term method of suicide than smoking cigarettes is. Sad but true. This coming from someone who gave up alcohol entirely. Lucky for me, booze was never a crutch of mine. Cigarettes, however, are my main crush, because shit, man, I'm definitely nowhere near perfect. I mess up in life plenty as well. It's part of being human. Yet, the measure of a person isn't in how much damage they can take before laying down and dying. The measure of a person is made in how hard you get knocked on your ass by life, and yet you continue to stand up in defiance of failure. From how your story is written, it sounds like this will be a painful process for you, especially with the 2 little ones involved. But in the end, OP, this is for the best. I just hope you're able to keep her out of your life, or the cycle will continue. Now, with all that said, I appreciate everyone hanging out for story time with Safe. As you can tell, I'm still not feeling the best, so my voice is gonna be a bit odd for a while longer. There's still 2 more stories waiting on me to record the vocals for, so more story time is on its way, new friends. If you like today's story time, make sure to hit all the buttons: the like button, sub, share, bell notification, the little red button, the Groot nuclear bomb button, and that fleshy button if you fellas can find it on your lady. I will see y'all in the next one.